Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez pressed his palm against the cold metal of the containment cell, watching the massive figure hunched in the corner. The Kethai prisoner stood 9 feet tall even in his crouched position, his crystalline exoskeleton catching the harsh fluorescent light. 6 months of war had taught humanity that these beings were supposedly mindless killing machines, but Marcus saw something different in those multifaceted eyes: intelligence, and perhaps something more troubling, pain. "You're wasting your time, Rodriguez," called Sergeant Thompson from the observation deck. "Command's orders are clear. Enhanced interrogation begins at 0800. Marcus didn't respond. The neural interface technology captured from the Kethai ships had been reverse-engineered weeks ago, but no human had volunteered for direct mental contact. The risks were astronomical: permanent brain damage, psychological fracturing, or worse. Yet Marcus found himself drawn to the alien's obvious suffering. The creature, Vexthal, according to intercepted communications, had been captured during the Battle of Europa Station. Unlike other prisoners who fought until death, this one had surrendered, dropping his plasma rifle and extending his forearms in what human xenobiologists interpreted as submission. It was unprecedented behavior for a species that showed no mercy and asked for none. Marcus activated his comm unit. "Thompson, I need 30 minutes alone with the prisoner." "Negative. Protocol states 30 minutes, Sergeant." "That's an order." The observation deck fell silent. Marcus knew he was risking his career, but something about Vexthal's surrender gnawed at him. In 6 months of warfare, no Kethai had ever been taken alive. They fought with suicidal determination, their hive-mind mentality making individual preservation meaningless. So why had this one chosen to live? The cell door hissed open. Vexthal's massive head turned toward Marcus, compound eyes reflecting hundreds of tiny images of the approaching human. The alien's breathing apparatus, a complex arrangement of spiracles along his thorax, wheezed rhythmically. Marcus pulled out the captured neural interface, a crown-like device bristling with quantum processors. His hands trembled as he placed it on his head. The alien watched with what Marcus could only interpret as curiosity. "I know you understand me," Marcus said, activating the device. "Your species monitored our transmissions for months before attacking." The neural link established itself with a sensation like ice water flooding his brain. Suddenly, Marcus wasn't alone in his own mind. Alien thoughts, vast and geometric, pressed against his consciousness. But instead of the expected hostility, he felt overwhelming loneliness. Why? The concept arrived not as a word but as pure meaning, tinged with genuine confusion. Marcus struggled to formulate his response in the strange mental landscape they now shared. "Why what? Why do you reach across the void between minds? Your species kills without connecting. We connect but cannot choose not to kill." Images flashed through their shared consciousness. Vexthal's memories of the hive mind, billions of Kethai thoughts flowing as one. But there was something wrong with the connection, like static on an old radio. Vexthal was broken, severed from his collective consciousness by some battle damage Marcus couldn't identify. "You're alone," Marcus realized. "That's why you surrendered. You're cut off from your hive." "Worse than death," came the response, heavy with despair. "To think alone is to be nothing. Yet, this connection with you, it soothes the silence." For 27 minutes they shared thoughts, memories, fears. Marcus experienced the crushing weight of millions of interconnected minds, while Vexthal marveled at the concept of individual will. They were from species evolved on opposite ends of the consciousness spectrum. Yet in that brief moment, they found common ground in their mutual isolation. When Marcus finally removed the neural interface, both beings were changed. The alien's posture had shifted, becoming less defensive, more curious. Marcus felt the absence of that vast, alien presence like a physical wound. "The interrogation." Thompson's voice crackled over the comm. "Command is waiting." Marcus looked at Vexthal, who extended one massive arm toward the neural interface. In that gesture, Marcus saw not an enemy, but a fellow conscious being seeking connection in a hostile universe. "Tell Command," Marcus said slowly, "that I volunteer for extended neural interface duty." We're gonna try something different. The war would continue, but for one human soldier and one alien giant. A new chapter in interspecies understanding had begun.